Hello, as everybody knows, Cathie Wood just brought a new ETF to the market. It's ARKX. It's the newest in her line of ETFs. And I keep hearing the same question go around over and over again. Should I invest? Should I not invest? What do you think of this? And generally it all comes down to the same kind of consensus. A lot of people are up in the air about the space programs and how we can create profitability from that. And some of the stocks and companies that she's going to be including in the ETF, and a lot of people kind of question the thought process behind it and will it be worth it. So in order, I think, to decide that, we have to look at some of the past history and then look at some of the companies that she's currently including behind the model plan and decide if it makes the right sense for you. So today, that's what I plan on going over. So let's get started. Like I said, first, a few things you got to look at when you're looking at this brand new ETF is there's not enough information, of course, to be able to tell if it's going to be a success or not. So we look at a lot of the past history of her ETFs, and starting with the flagship fund, as you see, it was an all-time low here, or actually not an all-time low here, but it was 33 bucks down in the crash of March in 2020. It instantly recovered all the way to $159, and it's fallen a little bit down with the little bit of push down we've had here lately, back to $120. But no matter when you'd invested, this would have been a great return on your investment. Now, one of the things I like to do with this is actually look at it by the year. So if you look at this by the year, it's a pretty new ETF, right? All you're going to see is this one giant green candle here. Green candle, doji, green candle, and then where we are now. That's an extremely bullish run that Cathie went on with the ARKK ETF fund. And then you have ARKQ, same thing. ARKQ, just a huge runner, all the way from $14.35 up to $101. You're talking about, 1,000% gains from these ETFs. ARKW, so many, and I could go through all of them, but they're generally going to be the same. If you'd have bought this here in December 2016 at 16 bucks, it ran all the way up to $191. Extremely impressive. But I don't want to get too much into that side of it. All right, so first, what is this fund about? Well, 80% of this fund is designed to be either around space exploration or equipment to help with space exploration. So 80% of the fund. So she can hold 20% of the fund in other whatever stock she sees or feels fit that might be a good stock to invest in. So definitely you'll see some stuff in there that is not 100% space exploration designed, or it might be a space exploration design that you don't see the use, but a lot of it does have uses and we just aren't aware of it fully yet. So this fund's broke down into 4 parts. It's got the orbital aerospace, the suborbital technologies in space exploration, and then aerospace beneficiaries. So with the first part, the orbital aerospace, that's going to be stuff that's launched outside of orbit. So satellites, stuff like that, that is taken outside of our orbit. Suborbital is stuff that's going to stay in orbit. So once again, satellites, stuff like that. And these are anything companies, they either launch, make, service, or operate anything in orbital or suborbital space. A lot of that comes down to like satellites and satellite technologies. And then you have the technologies, which is going to be any technology that can be used in space exploration, such as AI, robotics, 3D printing, energy, and storage. And energy is a big one because a lot of everything's trying to go EV now. So with the aerospace beneficiaries, you'll see a lot more of the EV play in there. That's going to be a lot of even just aircrafts that are EV in nature. Anything that can do with let's say internet, GPS systems, drones, air taxis, and of course electric aviation. That's going to be the aerospace beneficiaries. That's going to be people that experience benefit from upgrades into the aerospace design. So jumping right into it here, the fund actually is broke down, and it's already, everything's listed, of course. One of the big things I like about ARK is they do let you know right up front everything that's in their funds, and they'll actually send out daily emails to let you know if they've sold or bought anything. So you're more than welcome to go to the arkfunds.com, and you can actually sign up for their email and receive that every evening after market close. So in their fund, the top 10 holdings here, we have Trimble Inc. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Trimble Inc. I'm not a huge I don't have a ton of knowledge surrounding them, but they do make up the largest percent of the fund here. So I did a little bit of research here on Trimble. and they themselves are in a ton of different industries. Now, let me see here. I'll pull it up exactly. I kind of wrote it down a little bit so I know. But Trimble Inc., what they do is they make equipment to prepare a site for construction, build the building. Once it's built, they manage all of the vehicles, all the workers. The company makes GPS, global navigation systems, and they also do laser and optical technologies. So they use a lot of different technologies. From what I can see, it's a lot of new build farming stuff type. The design, layout, and getting everything set up or built. They're really specialized in that area, and they do a lot with technology. I believe they have some of their own softwares and stuff like that as well. And then number two, which is the 3D printing ETF. That's going to be a lot of companies that are either built in or around the 3D printing network. Next is Kratos Defense and Security. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these guys, but they're next generation. They have military funding, stuff like that. They build a lot of our armed forces equipment, and they'll continue on it. They do a lot of parts and stuff like that as well. Huge company, and they're going to continue to grow, and they're going to continue to kind of own that whole genre there. And then you have a lot of the big normal guys, the JD, the Lockheed Martin, Komatsu, Iridium, Thales, Boeing. I imagine all of you guys are pretty familiar with them, and they're obviously in the should be in the fun there. And once again, you can go onto their website. You can see the full breakdown here. Morgan Stanley, Atlas, reInvent. Most people, when you're thinking of space, you're thinking everything in here is going to be a space ETF, such as where is it at? Virgin Galactic, something like that. That's not exactly what they're designed around. They got Garmin in here. They got Teledyne. You might have seen that on Wolf of Wall Street. It's a good movie. Alphabet Inc., Amazon, Deere, Spirit Aerosystems, NVIDIA, Boeing. They got actually a lot of NVIDIA. I'm a big fan of that. That's a good position for them to have there. But overall, it's mostly companies that we already know and we already invest in. They are looking at it as more of a technology advancement. So all of her ETFs, as you probably already know, they're all built around what next gen advancements. So she's looking at the biggest companies that are out there currently, and I'm sure as time goes on, she'll start fine tuning and including some smaller stocks, some $2, $3, $4 penny stocks, which some of these are, are probably already there, but she's going to start picking up more of those as she does more research into this area and into this field. But I definitely think this is a very strong and fundamentally sound ETF at this point. So I'm looking forward to seeing the advancements that she decides to put in here. And I will definitely be watching it closely to see what she adds, because I very well may follow suit and pick up some of those stocks as well. I've had extreme success with buying a lot of stuff following Kathy's advice, following her lead, and having success with those stocks working out in my favor, just because there is a lot of hype built around her and built around her ETFs. So if you have to ask yourself if you should buy it, first look at the last 5 she's did, and the last 5 in the last year, they've all experienced 100% plus gains. That's a strong indicator. And based on the funds, if you're scared of getting into something weird, I wouldn't be too worried about it, because as we look here, the only one that is truly built around some orbital space type stuff is going to be your Virgin Galactic or one of those guys, which Virgin Galactic actually is planning on launching rockets and dropping satellites for other companies. So they're kind of being a charter system right now. So they're actually trying to capture into a whole nother market altogether on their own. So that drew my interest. So I'm not even mad that it's in here. It's actually pretty interesting. But I appreciate it very much. I hope I helped you out a little bit. If you learned anything, make sure to hit the like, subscribe button. You get an alert every time I make a new video. I appreciate it. Thank you guys.